What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about a handful of coins that you guys have requested me to talk about. So we're going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Compound, and that's it. Yes, and we're gonna throw Bitcoin Cash in there, even though nobody requested it. We'll do that at the end. Bitcoin for Sake Tauti, Ethereum for Cliff Wenzel, Litecoin for Mug Music, Dogecoin for Chris Wildfong, Compound for Lewis the Gentleman, and Bitcoin Cash for C-Zar Gets Crypto. Hit that like button and subscribe, you guys. I'm going to cram all these in here where they would normally get separate videos. I've had some technical issues today, man. I'm done with it, so I'm going to cram them all in here. I did make several videos, you guys, recently, just now, like over the last hour and a half, and then last night too. I spent over an hour making videos that I can't produce because there were, let's just leave it at, technical issues both times. Different reasons for both of them, but I should say both occasions, last night's videos and tonight's videos. So it's very upsetting, kind of disheartening when you do analysis on something for hours and it just doesn't go well, but that's okay. We're here now. Enough of my woes. The reason I'm explaining it in the first place is to just let you know why this is all crammed together when normally these videos would be separate. Anyways, Bitcoin looking good, looking ferocious, looking like it wants to go higher. You are at a point at the daily RSI where I would expect you to bounce. You might go a little bit lower first, and even if you go below the 50, it's okay, but I think soon you will bounce. You are consolidating for a little bit. As far as why are you consolidating, because I know that was a question you had, Sake Tati. I don't know. That's a subjective question to answer. Why we're consolidating, there's probably so many answers, and all those answers could be true or some of them could be wrong. There's so many different answers to go with. I would just say, when you move up, some people take profits. That profit taking, comes down. People buy because they're like, hey, I don't want to miss this next move up when it comes. People sell, buy at like key areas based on trading algorithms or just like their own risk management, whatever. And there's an exchange going on. Consolidation phases are basically just a safe range, quote unquote safe, range for people to make exchanges with the underlying assets. So as far as why is it consolidating, I don't know. I know that was your specific question, but I suppose that answer is subjective to anybody who wants to answer it. But I think it's going to move up. I think Bitcoin is going to move up. I think the month of June is going to be phenomenal. This month, the monthly RSI here, bouncing off the overbought zone. We've only done that once before in Bitcoin's history, and that was all the way back here where we moved up to finish the cycle with a 471% candle, right? This was the month, it was June that we found our lows, so July is when we started moving up. That month was only 9% to the upside. The next month was 32. We're at the end of the cycle there, saw some strong moves. I don't think that we're at the end of the cycle now. I don't think that we're like 5 months away from the end like we were back here, but I do think that this is a sign of good things to come. I do think the month of June will be phenomenal, and I do think we'll see new all-time highs. The minimum target that I would expect to see, we're at 67.7K now. I would expect to see 79.3K to 86, let's call it 87K by the end of June based on this. Now the 2272, because this is such a small range, does come into play here. It's a deeper extension, and I think that that's acceptable to consider because it is a more shallow kind of range. If we take this larger range here from the all-time high, previous all-time high, to the cycle low, let's call it cycle high to cycle low, the 1272 lines up extremely well with the 2272. Literally both, it's like $200 difference, right? So that, in correspondence with the interactions we're having on the 886 here, I mean, to me, this 100K target is inevitable. Whether it happens this month or over the coming 2 months or even 3 months, I would expect sometime between June, July, or August, we will see a six-figure Bitcoin. And I am kind of hopeful that it could happen in June. If not, very hopeful it'll happen in July. If it happened in August, great. It takes a little bit longer, but soon, by the end of the summer, I think that we would find a six-figure Bitcoin. At the least for this month, for June, I would expect at least about an 80K to an 87K Bitcoin, but I am not throwing out that $103,000 target. So that's Bitcoin. It's consolidating right now, looking to move up. The next immediate target is probably going to be around 79K, so I do think we're getting ready to break out to new all-time highs soon. It could be a few days, it could be a couple weeks, maybe not even a couple weeks, but very soon Bitcoin looks like it wants to move up. Ethereum is the next suspect that we're going to go over here. I don't know why I called it a suspect, but for Cliff, we're talking about this for you, and it looks like I already did some analysis on it actually. Yeah, 14K. Yep. That's where we're going. No, that's what I think is going to happen by the end of this cycle. And I think that you requested that actually specifically, so that's kind of a good way to mention it. From high to low, from previous cycle high to low, the 1618 could be an area that we hit. From this high to low, cycle high to low, we did top off at the 1414 area. So the 1414 here is at about 10K. I think 10K, 14K sounds like achievable numbers for Ethereum by the end of the cycle, potentially even 20K, but I'm not expecting that as much. Very bullish monthly close, bullish engulfing candle. Love to see it. Not a lot of volume, but that's okay. Looking at the weekly, I really like the weekly RSI. It'd be nice to see this thing continue to grow. It wouldn't be so nice for it to reject this area. That would just mean that you're going to consolidate probably for a little bit longer, and then maybe you'll move up later. The way that I have that drawn there, it kind of comes in line with this, and that would send you on a breakout like at the end of July. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we don't consolidate. I mean, if we do, it's not a big deal, but if we consolidate, that just means that these moves up are going to be put off until later. Where are we going to go in the more immediate term? Potentially by the end of this month, I would expect, we could be at new all-time highs by the end of this month, but I would think somewhere around 5K, if not above 4,500 by the end of this month is not too much to ask. We're at 3,700.7 right now. $3,776 is where we're at now. So up. I think the weekly RSI looks fine. I think the daily RSI looks fine as well. I think we're moving up, and I think a lot of people are going to misunderstand and misinterpret this ETF news. I know a lot of people are bullish on it, but I think there are a lot of people who are calling this a sell the news event. I think they're going to be sourly mistaken. Generally, I would call for sell the news events, but because it's just the ETFs being approved and not listed, I think Ethereum is going to continue to grow. I think we had an initial move up. We're consolidating. We're going to get our next move up. And I mean, if we were to mimic this kind of move here and move it over, that would give us, potential target. Yeah, I actually drew it pretty well. Up at about $4,700, which fits the range I'm going for, which is 45 to 5K, potentially by the end of this month. I mean, if not even within the first 2 weeks of this month. I think this move is going to happen soon, and it will happen fast. Maybe not as fast as this, but I think actually before halfway through the month of June, we will see prices above $4,500. Now, whether we stay there is the question, right? Whether we stay there is the question. Whoa. I'm sorry. I don't know why that was playing. There we go. I'm so sorry about that. I hope that wasn't too loud for everybody. Let's see. Oh, I've got this playing now. See, I had this video I actually deleted. I was playing it to see there was no volume, so that video is actually not even there anymore. I'm surprised it was still playing, but I hope I didn't mess anything up with this video. I hope it wasn't like on that screen. I'm gonna be upset if it is, man, because guys, I cannot tell you how heartbroken I was to find out like all the time I put in was for nothing, man. It's for nothing. I got things I gotta do too, man. Time is valuable. High to low, consolidating above your 382. I like to see it. You're just in this accumulation range for Litecoin. And this one's at the request of Mug Music. Yeah, we're accumulating, man. Any week, any day now. I mean, if Bitcoin's going to go up to six figures by the end of June or sometime in July, Litecoin's probably going to make its move too. If Ethereum's moving up, I would assume Litecoin's going to make its move. We could expect to see maybe 170 by the end of June. If not, I would think that we are going to make our move back up above $100, 130, at least 130 by the end of June. Is what I would expect to see, but time will tell. We'll see. Monthly RSI is neutral. Weekly RSI is neutral, but bullishly postured, I suppose. Daily RSI is neutral as well. I think you're just working your way up. You're crawling, consolidating, volume's dying off. So at any moment, you're probably going to get a breakout. Whether it's to the upside or downside remains to be seen. I am calling for the upside. The next move that I would expect to see based off of this high to low here, the minimum price target lines up very well with your next fib level at about 130. So 130 to 170 by the end of June, sometime over the coming weeks, I think is what's going to happen. So that's LTC. Finishing it up with Dogecoin and then Compound. Dogecoin for Chris Wild Fong. Dogecoin is at about 16 cents. Daily RSI, it couldn't even actually, that's not necessarily a good look, actually. I don't know. I like the consolidation phase, though. I think Dogecoin's fine. It probably just consolidates more until it's ready to move up. Dogecoin does not have to move up with the rest of the market, so don't be upset if it moves down from here, right? If everything else is moving up and Dogecoin's just being boring, that's actually very characteristic of it to do. So might move back down to about a cent down from here, maybe even 2 or 3 cents down from here, but yeah, you're probably just going to consolidate over the coming weeks. That's my thoughts with Dogecoin. Nothing too exciting. It's looking like you want to go down temporarily, so at least 14.8 cents is back on the menu, but probably lower than that. I wouldn't be too surprised or discouraged. Don't be discouraged if it goes lower. It's okay. It could genuinely, prices below 10 cents are still on the table, so just expect Dogecoin to be boring probably for the coming weeks, coming months. That's my thoughts on Doge. Compound for Lewis the Gentleman, Comp USD on Coinbase here, also being boring. Wow, we're already at 58.72. We've dropped 8% this week. We closed above $63 this day here. I got so excited, but rejected the overbought zone, rejected the green line. Hate to see it, but it's okay. Being that we're on the daily, we're in this kind of consolidation phase here. We're still in an uptrend. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I mean, we are in an overall prevailing downtrend right now. As long as this daily RSI stays bullish, which to me it does look pretty bullish. I would think we are going to continue to move up. What would it look like if it were to be bearish? I would say if we can get below 40, that would start to concern me. If we kind of break this, like, it's not pretty. I don't know, because it's not a straight line here, right? We've already broken that. If it were, if I drew a line from here to here, I mean, we're kind of at that area now. I think it's okay if we were to break this line connecting this area and this area. I think it's okay if we broke it, but perhaps we hold the line exactly where we are. Perhaps that's as low as we go. I don't think that we go too much lower either way. If we are to go lower, low to high, yeah, we could go down to about $57 to $56. We're at $58.72 right now. So down there, we're just waiting, consolidating as well. Expect Compound to be boring, you guys. Maybe for the month of June, maybe until August. Like, who knows? It's going to be boring until it's not. We'll know that it's not boring when we get multiple days closing above $63. When we get a week to close above about, like, I mean, really, guys, once we get it to close above $100, that's when it will be exciting. Until then, boring. That's the best I got. So if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.